I see it as two things, right? People don't want Yahuwah of the Old Testament to be the Elohim because of his judgment and his wrath for those who don't keep his commandments. And they just don't want to keep his commandments. They want to hold on to his pagan ways. They want to tell you the law is done away with. And then even though they are warned about twisting Paul's writings to their own destruction, and before you can even understand what Paul is saying, you must first be learned in Torah. But they want to just throw the Torah away and make a whole new religion based on what Paul wrote, but they twisted it. They don't want. I remember when I was in church, man, when I was first getting off drugs and I was trying to go to church, because that's all I knew. Like, I'm just, there's demons out here. I'm finna go to church. Like, you feel me? But I instantly, no, they're in here too. And that's where they came from, about the church. Oh, my goodness. But I'm in there, and the man trying to convince me. This is when I don't know. I haven't read this. It just popped in my mind because I heard it somewhere. I seen it somewhere. But he was like, wouldn't you prefer, he was like, wouldn't you prefer a kind and loving God instead of the mean and terrible God of the Old Testament? And I was like, man, it's the same thing, bro. I'm sorry if you don't know his love and kindness and mercies and grace, but I do. And I was like, man, don't it say, he who does not keep the commandments? This is the first time I ever said this to someone in response. I remember I'm still gullible and naive, not even knowing the word yet, man. I ain't even know the word yet. I wasn't reading the scriptures like that, man. But I was just like, man, don't it say in there, he who does not keep the commandments and teaches others to do so will be considered least in the kingdom? And I don't know where that came from for me to say to this pastor. You see what I'm saying? But he was trying to say, wouldn't you rather just serve a kind and loving God in Jesus instead of the old? Because I was showing up to the church, you know what I'm saying? With ZC Soul, because I just ran into them brothers and standing on the corner with their head wraps and the ZCs, and they was like, nah, brother, this was like a year before I was still trying to in and out the drugs and stuff, but I remember hearing what bro them say, so when I tried to get saved, I was doing it all. Give me the ZCs, give me the Bible, give me the baptized, give me all of it. I just don't want these demons and these drugs no more, right? So I'm showing up to the church on everything with ZC's on, bro. Like, to the Christian church with ZC's on. So they looking at me like, so we had a men's day. And bro was like, wouldn't you rather serve a kind and loving God of Jesus instead of the Old Testament cruel God? I'm like, God, the Most High I was saying God at the time, so I'm going to say what I was like, God is God, man. The same one from then is the same one now, bro. Where's y'all coming from with this new God stuff, man? Like, so they don't want Yahuwah because they don't want his judgment. They want Jesus through Paul, but they don't even want what we gonna say Jesus. They don't even want what Jesus said, because Jesus telling them, only those who do the will of my Father. Away from me, you who work lawlessness. Both heaven and earth shall pass away before my Father's law is obsolete. He who teaches the commandments and teaches, he who does not keep the commandments and teaches others not to do so will be considered the least. Every word that comes from the mouth of the Father. But remember this, man. Anybody who say they know Elohim or God, but don't keep his commandments is a liar. And that's in the New Testament, right? Ain't that what y'all draw for the new? And y'all just throw away the whole old? Just throw it away. It's done away with. So we don't need to know the Torah. It's done away with. Even though they telling you before you can even know what Paul talking about, go read the Torah. No, no, that's going to make me feel convicted. And, I want to celebrate Ishtar. I want to celebrate Halloween. I want to go to the forest and get a tree and post it so it don't totter and decorate it with silver and gold ornaments and sing Old Christmas Tree to it. I don't want that Old Testament God because it's too much. I like eating catfish. That's what they saying. I want to do all of these abominations and stuff. Because I got the grace. Because Paul said, but Paul didn't even say that. Your Pope and your pastor said that. But they are pagans, man. But they don't want him because they don't want his judgment, man. You see what I'm saying? They want to stay pagans, or they just feel guilty. But they don't understand. It is mercy and grace for you, man. It is salvation. He sent it. The Old Testament, Elohim, Yahuwah, he sent you salvation. You just rejecting it, man. Well, you took it, you perverted it, you made him into an idol and made a whole religion off of it. Or it's just prideful ignorance. People just don't want to be like, man, I had it wrong. You know, I used to study Islam, right? Spoke Arabic and everything. I just spit all type of stuff to you in Arabic. I just don't, because I ain't going to be saying these pagan things and giving praises to these pagan gods, right? But I had to be like, man, this ain't it. But before I came in the truth of Yah, I knew that one. I just like, because it's all brotherhood in public, but behind closed doors, it was some sinister stuff being said and plotted and planned. I ain't want no parts of that. You feel me? Real talk. But still in all, I ain't trying to talk bad on them neither. I ain't here to judge nobody. I'm just saying I've had it wrong many a times. Many a times. I first got on TikTok cussing MF this and this and da-da-da-da, S-I-T-C, da-da-da-da-da. I was just cussing B-I-T-C-H-S, blah, blah, blah. And them brothers was like, man, bro, tone it down a little bit, man. Man, bro, you got a foul mouth, brother. I don't want to hear that, man, blah, 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 blah. But then the conviction hit in. The conviction set in. I got to be humbly corrected. I had to learn how to be humbly corrected. But I'm so grateful in that. We get it wrong sometimes. We all waking up from drunken stupor. But there is only one Elohim, man. There's only one mighty one. Ain't no old one or a new one. Ain't no, I prefer this one over that one. There's only one. You see what I'm saying? But he is merciful and kind and loving and gracious and patient and forgiving. He sent you his salvation through Yahusha. They took Yahusha, who clearly say, I'm the son of man, son of man, son of man. Who do they say that I am? The son of, who do they say that I, the son of man, am? Man, they say you all type of stuff, man. Like they say you all type of stuff, bro. The Romans done made them into God and made idols out of them. Because they lack the understanding. Because they don't want to go be first learned in Torah, because that Torah going to remind them that they are Gentiles. And all of these abominable things that they like to do and practices that they like to keep is forbidden by Yahuwah. So a lot of people have a hard time. They look at him as so cruel and evil and wicked because of what he did to their, see who they really follow, we're going to be 100. Who they really are and who they really follow are the fallen ones. Because only the fallen ones feel like he's cruel and unforgiving because of that sentence he passed on them. And I'm going to end it with that.